And welcome to another edition of the True Patriot Outfitters podcast. Folks, this is an all-American kayak series edition here. We are here to talk about Lake Okoboji. The anglers from the all-American kayak series will be descending upon Lake Okoboji this week and to compete on Friday and Saturday. And Dude, it is setting up to be an amazing event. If you look at last year, we were there May 14th, just about the same time as what we're showing up now. And it was a burner what we put up last year. Those were some serious stringers that it took to cash a check and to win that one. We got a defending Iowan there that won that, Mr. Jeremy Brandis. He won last year's event, so we're going to see who can dethrone him. Chad Davison, of course, was right in the mix. He was right behind him there. The Dream Crusher himself was right there in the hunt as always. Before we get going too much further, I'm going to silence my phone. And we're going to pay the bills real quick. Tonight's episode, obviously, with the All-American Kayak Series edition here, brought to us by Amped Outdoors, right from that neck of the woods up there. Lithium batteries. Not going to find better quality, better pricing, and a better company, in my personal opinion. Amped Outdoors, and of course, Vicious Fishing. If you don't want to break the bank, you want to get good quality fishing line, go check them out. We trust them. You should too. All right. That's all paid for and done. Now, Lake Okoboji. One of the things you guys have known that what we like to go do is we like to try to reach out to one of the area's premier guides. I mean, one of the guides in there that really knows the lake, knows the area, has been doing this a while. And that is, I'll be honest with you, when you can't be there and get to know these folks, it takes a while to track down. Well, this time we hit the nail on the head. We found with JigMup Guide Service, we have Rod Blau, who's standing by, getting ready to come in here and chat with us. And folks, what he's here to do is just kind of tell us about the lake itself. Obviously, he's not going to tell us how to catch fish. No one's going to guides trying to tell us how to do that. We should know what we're doing with that. But he is absolutely here to kind of talk to us about what we can expect with the lake, what it's looking like right now, and of course, just the history of the place, man. And then on top of that, you're going to get to know Rod and his guide service. So when it's not tournament week, this is the guy you contact when you want to go up there for an awesome vacation and go fishing. Rod and his guide service will be able to take you out there. So without further ado, let's bring the man himself in. Welcome to the podcast, Rod. How's it going, buddy?
Hey guys, good to be with you. It's going really good. Fishing's been awesome. Can't really complain, that's for sure. It's going to be, for you guys, it should be a great tournament weekend.
You know, man, it's good to be in the tournament game, and it's good to be in the guide service when a lake is acting like that, for sure, because word of that spreads quickly. And, you know, especially in the tournament scene, I mean, good night. The Dirty 30s going up on the board there not too long ago.
It's definitely insane for sure.
Even with rough weather last weekend, there were some guys that were still putting up 25, 26 pound bags.
Yep.
I mean, holy Moses. So talk to us about Lake Okoboji itself. You know, what do you know about the history of the lake?
Lake Okoboji is one of the only blue water lakes in the country. So it's deep water, shallow water. You got fish basically, all over the place. You can fish from the upper chain up all the way from the fish hatchery, all the way down to lower guard of where it runs out of the lake. The lake is huge. The guys who have been here know it. It's a fantastic lake to come and fish. If you ever get a chance to come, you just got to do it.
Absolutely. And this is, so when you say it's a blue lake, what does that mean?
Well, it was made by a glacier. So,
right.
And so it's like a blue water. The definition of it, I'm not even sure what the definition is, but they call it a blue water lake. So, and the water clarity is fantastic. You can see the bottom, 15 feet of water. it's just a spectacular lake if you've never been here.
And so it is a glacier made lake
Yep.
in that area. That's awesome.
Yep.
We, for us in Colorado here, man, everything we have is man-made, so, but
Right.
I did cut my teeth in the tournament scene up there, up north in Minnesota on those natural lakes.
Right.
I, for one, am super stoked to get heading back to that natural, the natural made lakes and actually see weeds again, see grass again. I mean, is Okoboji set up that same way with weed lines and edge lines and things of that nature?
It does. Okoboji, the big part of Westlake is, got a lot of weed lines and stuff in it. You guys are coming early enough though to where you're not going to really have a whole bunch of that yet. They just haven't gotten that far into the summer yet to have those weed lines be really pronounced.
Right.
Where you're going to start finding that kind of stuff though is like in the shallow water, like in the canals. Upper Gar, Mini Washta, you'll start finding a few weeds and stuff in there. Even East Okoboji, you'll start finding a few clumps of weeds here and there where they're just starting, like that curly pondweed that grows under the ice. You'll start finding some of that in different places.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's where the fish are going to be. That's where the fish are going to be at.
Yep. So my thought is, with that kind of clarity too, this is something I saw in Minnesota quite a bit, is that some of those lakes with that ridiculously clear water, dude, you can get weeds at 20-foot depth where they're super healthy because that sunlight's penetrating all the way down there and giving you growth like that. Okoboji, kind of one of the same things with that.
Yeah, same way. There's weeds all the way out to 25 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool working that stuff.
And in the middle of the summertime, we fish. Barely do you fish anything less than 10 to 15 feet of water in the summertime because the fish are just out in those spots out in that 20, 25 feet, drop shotting them, jigging them, however you want to do it. You can catch them. You can catch them anyway.
Jigging them up.
Yep. Jigging them up.
So I got to ask, I mean, was that, guys sitting around a table with a few beers come up with this awesome name, or where did that name? Because I love it. It's fantastic, but where'd that come from?
So it kind of came from my dad. So my dad was a guy on the lake before I started. So I spent some time in the military myself. So I spent some time in the military, and when he got out and he was ready to be done guiding, he just asked me, he said, you want to take over? And I'm like, I kind of hee-hawed around a little bit. And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? So that's what I've been doing for the last 20 something years since I got out of the military. So what
branch did you serve, Rod?
Navy.
Outstanding. Well, first and foremost, thank you for your service, man. We sincerely appreciate it.
Yep.
You and I haven't had a chance to chat too much, but I'll chat with you after this. And who knows, maybe we got some trips we start putting together between my nonprofit and your guide service, and see if we can make something happen up there in Okoboji.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yep.
And that's the one thing that I don't want to get too far on a tangent, but one thing I have noticed is that there are so many folks that have served that are involved in the fishing and outdoor industry, and it's not by mistake, man. It's by plan, because this is where things make sense. Things calm down here. We can see things, they all come together. So that's so cool. So what I'm gonna do real quick here, Rod, I'm gonna pull up a map for us.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So on this map here, actually, I'm going to go full screen. I'll minimize you and I here. Well, that didn't seem to help too much. Oh, there we go. All right. So for us on our tournament, the lakes that are in play, we are permitted to fish from west, east. What is the name of that one? That Minawasha?
Mini Washta,
where that one's in play.
Yep.
Lower and upper Gar.
Yep.
And then I believe, if I read properly, Big Spirit is also open to us.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yep.
Because you can't get there from the other lake. You actually have to put in there to fish that.
I'm going to double check that before you and I get when you're talking. I'll be double check, but I believe it did say on the Tourney X, our software, that our registration piece, that Big Spirit was in play, that you could launch from there, but Little is not, and neither is Center. I know those aren't in there. So
it's too bad, because Center Lake is a hidden fishery for largemouth. There's a ton of nice fish.
I bet just sitting in that little spot right in there.
Yeah, it's got the creeks and stuff that run in and out of it. So they're kind of connected to West Okoboji. The fish can actually get out of West Okoboji up into up into Center Lake, and there's some really big ones in there. So it's
No kidding.
yeah, it's a good spot for sure.
Nice. Good
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff. So how long is, now you said you did this, 1 second here. Let me pull this back out. There we go. So you said you started this, started the guide service in that area, when you got out of the service there, went after this. What do people normally, when they're coming from out of state or that sort of thing, and they're connecting with you, what are they looking to? Are they looking for the northern bass? Are they looking for crappie? What's the big draw there?
So the panfish are a big draw, the crappies, the bluegills, because I mean it's a world-class fishery when it comes to crappies and bluegills. It's pretty amazing. I mean, 15-inch crappies are not, they're not uncommon for sure, and bigger ones. So and 10-inch bluegills, we have guys that drive from Wisconsin, Maine, Michigan just to come down here and fish the bluegills, because the bluegills are world class. So
that is awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, we have little resorts around the lake, and like church camps and stuff like that. That's how they get some of their money in the wintertime. They are full all winter long from people who come from all over the country to fish bluegills here.
So what's in the water there? What's the magic deal? I'll be honest with you. When I was up in Minnesota, I, watched over the course of 10 years, I watched some fisheries in that area just decline steadily with the quality, and it was, bottom line, it was coming straight from pressure. There was just so many tournaments going on. There was more and more people getting out and fishing the stuff. Yep. And so watching that stuff, unfold like that, you could just see that it was less and less, more productive. But yet Okoboji gets plenty of pressure because the secret's out of the bag for, at least inside the fishing community.
Right.
It isn't well known like some of the other names, which is good. But but in the same regard, what is it about that fishery that just builds such a great habitat for all the fish? Because there's lots of them and they're big. Holy Moses.
Yeah. So what really turned like us for the panfish. So to me, that relates to the bass too then. So what's happened to the panfish, we got all of this curlyleaf pondweed now in East Okoboji, and there's a little bit in west in places, but the curlyleaf pondweed is a huge resource for the crappies, the bluegills, the perch. So therefore, they have a place to go as small fish. So therefore, the largemouth have a place to go as small fish, and they just in turn they feed on the bluegills, the crappies, and the perch until they get big enough, until they can migrate over to east or west or wherever they're going to go, and then they start feeding on progressively bigger stuff. But that's where the huge thing is at right now for our fishery. Curly pondweed it's relatively new. It hasn't been here for a great long time, but you can definitely tell over the last 5 years that our crappie and bluegill population, especially our crappie population, the bluegill has always been good, but the crappie population has exploded, and that's because of curlyleaf pondweed.
That is so awesome, man.
Yep, and the bass are the same thing. The bass have exploded for the same reason, because of the yellow perch, because of the bluegills, and we also have yellow bass too. But I don't know if they really eat, if they're a forage for them a lot or not. But I know the perch are. The bluegills, they're a huge forage for largemouth and smallmouth alike, So
I was going to say, and that the beauty of this is it not only is that place known for big greens, but also big, large or smallmouth are in there. Big brown ones are in there. So does that mean we're going to find, rocky embankments, raw boulders and such out there, or are these smallmouth just adapted to the weed life?
No, there's big rock piles around in the different bays and stuff like that. The guys who've been here, they know, they know where they're at. They know what they got to do. Jerk baits, blade baits, and it seems like to me, throw a blade bait. Once you find them with a blade bait, you can catch them with a jerk bait. And most of the time, if it's one, there's 20. There's not just one.
They wolf pack up.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. So the thing is, right now we're starting to head into that. We need a little bit more warm weather, but it won't be long. These fish are going to start staging to come in and start spawning the smallmouth anyway.
Right.
Oh, it won't be long. We had this last weekend. We had almost 5 inches of rain. So
that was going to be my next question. What are water levels looking like right now as we're coming into town?
It's good. I mean, they're really good. So like I personally, I think for you guys, like the canals are probably going to play. I don't know. Like I said, the guys who are here, they know where they're at.
Yep.
And stuff like that, frogging, because last weekend we caught them frogging, we caught them wacky worming, you name it. Any way you wanted to catch them, spinnerbait, it didn't matter.
That's, and when you go to a fishery like that where you can fish your strengths and still do well, what I mean? You just can't ask for anything better. I just had a tournament down at Pueblo Res where I knew I wasn't on. I wasn't finding the quality size fish that was going to win it, but I was finding so many of the other, size fish. And it didn't matter if I was throwing a Ned rig or if I was throwing a square bill. And so I literally remember telling myself at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, you know what? If it's going to be the same, then I'm gonna fish the way I want to, man. I'm just gonna throw this square bill till I'm cross-eyed. And just started wearing them out with that, and then covering 8-9 miles worth of shoreline there. That's like, yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
sure. That square bill thing's a good deal too. I mean, you can catch a lot of them that way. Fishing that, any of them, the Berkeleys, the KVDs, any of them, anything that runs in that 2 to 5 feet, you can't go wrong.
That is so awesome. And that's, we kind of all knew that coming in, that's the thing, is it's not a huge deal. There are lots of different areas, lots of different lakes. I wanted to ask you, Lower and Upper Gar Lake. I mean, okay, so I'm not a smart fella, but I'm putting it together. There's probably some gar in that water. Yes, no?
Yeah, we have short nose and long nose gar.
No kidding.
Yeah, we got both. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Every once in a while you see one will chase a spinnerbait or something like that in shallow water. You'll get one to come look at it, just chase it around a little bit. But the hook, hooking them is almost impossible. But
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only way I've ever caught them, I was on the Mississippi River pools, 7, 8, 9, when I go there to La Crosse. And the way I've brought in 2 gar before, and both of them did the same thing. They went after my crankbait, but their nose got wrapped up in my line. The crankbait didn't set a hook in them. Right. I reeled them in because they were wrapped up. When they went to attack, they, rolled or whatever. Yep. And that's how I got them up to the edge of the boat at least. And then was like, okay, now what the hell do I do?
They're crazy looking critters for sure.
They are. It's like pretty prehistoric. Yeah. So pike, are there pike in there?
Tons of them. Bring extra crankbaits because they like it. So, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Dude, I used to try to tell people this, because I was fishing in Minnesota, and a lot of my buddies I talked to were down in Missouri or down south. And, they're like, dude, you got to get that chatterbait. You got to get that jackhammer and throw it around. And I'm like, the hell I will. $16 just to feed it to a pike? No thanks. I'm going with that $3 chatterbait original.
You'll feed them to a pike, a chatterbait here. That jackhammer will be guaranteed to be gone.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The pike, they in the other one was bowfin, the dogfish.
Yeah.
Are any of those hanging out in there?
No, we don't have any. No.
Good. Because those things are just mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen them catch them on TV when they're bass fishing before. So
they remind me of like a snakehead,
right?
That fish, and they will shark a frog. I've watched it in the Mississippi where you'll see their little fin just boogieing right through the weeds coming at your frog, and if you see it quick enough, you can start reeling and try to get the hell out of there.
For sure,
because they're going to destroy what you have.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So we're gonna have definitely lots of predators on the loose here.
Yeah.
What has the water temperature been like from what you've seen around those lakes out there? What has it been hanging?
So the big lake is still running about 54 degrees. So it hasn't warmed up much.
Wow.
The smaller ones are, we had, we've only had really like 3 days of warm weather. Otherwise it's been cold. So
this is every bit textbook of the pre-spawn then. I mean,
definitely. Those fish will not be ready yet. I mean, they're going to be looking, but they're not going to be doing it.
And this doesn't bode well for the rest of us out there, because the guy that won it last year, I know him pretty well, old JB, Jeremy Brandis, in his own words to me, pre-spawn is my jam.
Right.
is what he told me. So I
Yep.
think we're gonna be in to have to dethrone this guy because he's gonna be right in his wheelhouse here. So
So
um,
that turning X that you guys do, is that
yeah.
like total inches?
Yes, we go by length is what we go,
Okay.
not by weight. We do
Okay.
a catch photo release. So literally as we catch them, we get a couple good photos on our authorized measuring board, and then they're right back in the water. So
Okay.
it's 2-3 minutes they get to spend with us. They get their picture taken, and away they go right back to doing what they were doing.
Right.
So one of the cool things about the kayak game, man, is that we have such low impact on fisheries when we go to them.
Right.
Even if we're bed fishing, where we, if we take them off a bed and get that stuff done, we're literally putting them back within feet of their bed, so
Sure.
if they want to return there, they absolutely can. So
Sure.
it's a pretty cool deal. So I'm looking at the deal here. Yeah. East, West, Big Spirit, Upper and Lower Gar, and Minawashta.
Yeah. So Big Spirit, the last time I heard, was even colder yet than
Wow.
like East Okoboji and stuff like that. Yet the water temperature is still colder up there yet. So
Do you do much guiding up on that one or no?
I do some. I don't do a whole bunch up there because west and east is kind of my thing. I
Yep.
just and some of the smaller lakes around. I like Center Lake and stuff like that too. So
For sure.
I spend some time on. Well, there's what we have here is we have within probably 20 miles of the lakes. We have probably 20 other little lakes around here that we can fish and catch walleyes, perch, crappies, all that kind of thing. So yeah.
Well, and that's one of the things I love about the North and the Midwest North like that is that, yes, man, there are ponds everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's some of I mean, for the longest time, there was a small pond I know just west of the Twin Cities up in Minnesota that actually for the longest time had the state record bass came out of that.
Right.
Now I'm not sure. I forget where their record last time I saw was 815, but it may have changed since I've been gone. But and I'm not sure what lake that one came out of. It might be Coronas.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Maybe Green. That's another. It's not a small lake though, but
Green is a great lake.
Yeah.
That's got huge sunfish and crappies in it too. That's a great lake.
And there's a couple greens. The green that everybody knows is the one west of the cities. They're not the one north. The one north is that's kind of a struggle bus up there. It's still good, but like I said, all those city and those metro lakes up there just get slammed on 4 to 5 times a week with all the different tourneys and such that are going on, and then of course guiding and it's
they have that the further north you get, then you start talking guys who are fishing league nights, that kind of stuff. They have Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and we don't have that here. So on this lake, that because there's tournaments every Saturday and Sunday, so
right, and
it gets enough pressure as it is already without running league nights too. So
that's good. That's good. I for one am happy for sometimes the limiting factor, just to kind of keep things in check.
Yep.
And I mean, it's important that we remember these are the resources that we love to enjoy, and we want to make sure the next generation after us can do so as well. So
yep,
we have to be stewards of our resources to make sure we're not burning them up there.
For sure.
So east, west, I was looking around at the ramp situation.
Yep.
There's not as many as I would have expected. There seems to be, I mean, I can't believe, and I am so freaking stoked. I don't even know if it'll be in play right now, but I'm going to have to throw them docks. Holy Moses, there's enough docks. It looks like Lake of the Ozarks to me, man, with all the docks that surround this place.
Well, every house has got a dock or two. So there's a lot of docks to throw at. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that.
Brush piles, we're going to see those out there, you think?
No, that we don't really have. We don't, unless you find one that somebody put in around their dock. They do that once in a while for crappies and bluegills. But like I say, there really is no brush piles in the lake.
No. Gotcha. So that's going to be the name of the game. We're on a pre-spawn here. We've got east, and it really, there doesn't look to be a bad place that you can go, man. You're going to find fish pretty much anywhere you go out here. It's just going to be a matter of which one of us finds the better quality. That'll be the name of it. So how do people get a hold of you, my friend, for the guide service there? What is the best way to get a hold of you if someone wants to come in that area and go for a trip?
You can get a hold of me at JigMup.com.
Okay.
So you can, my phone number is 712-346-8454. They can just call me and get a hold of me, and we'll work something out from that way.
1 second here. JigMup.com.
Yep.
And then your phone number. Go ahead and give me that again.
712
Yep.
346 8454.
8454.
Yep. And if you got guys coming in who want to come up here and bass fish, just give me a shout and I'll send them in the right direction. Whatever I got going on, if they're coming, why they're bringing their own stuff, why that's fine too. I don't scoff at that too much either. So
good stuff.
Yep.
So we have JigMup, JigMup.com.
Yep.
So I put that on the screen here, and we've got the phone number up here. People can get a hold of you, Rod, to set up and get out there and check out this amazing. To me, if I want to take a family outing or I want to do, stuff like that, finding these kind of lakes and then connecting with a local guide and an expert like yourself in these areas and being shown, the beauty and the magic of this lake, man. I mean, those are the ultimate family vacations, in my opinion. You make some most amazing memories on a place like Lake Okoboji and going out with, with somebody who knows the place.
Yep.
And that's what are there decent places for lodging around?
There's all kinds of places to stay. Yep. There's you got Village West, you got Crescent Beach Resort. There's just a pile. Fillenworth Beach. There's a ton of them you can stay at.
Has any of these little, because I see like you got Spirit Lake, Okoboji, Arnold's Park, Milford. You got these little towns that are all around here. Has any of them, or do they all embrace the tourist deal?
Yep. Yeah, they all got their own hotels and stuff like that in town and stuff like that. So, but if you're wanting to stay on the lake, like when people come, they really want to stay on the lake if they can.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's some really nice spots, like I said, Crescent Beach, Fillenworth. They've all got nice places to stay, and it's right on the water.
All right, man. I'm going to put you on the spot for this one here.
Okay.
This one, I need your total opinion on this because I'm a dude who likes food.
All right.
So if I'm coming into that area and I say, I don't know, I mean, I'm partial to barbecue. I do like me a good barbecue joint. And I know the Midwest likes his barbecue, but where do we got to go? The anglers coming in for the All-American Kayak Series into this area. Where should we go and check out for, some local cuisine there? What would you recommend?
So to me, there's a lot of places that are really good. You got Nautical. But to me, the Smokin' Jake's is the best. I love Smokin' Jake's.
Smokin' Jake's. Where's my pen?
All right. Yep, Smokin' Jake's is.
Now you're.
And it's right on the main drag in Arnold's Park.
Smokin' Jake's in Arnold's Park.
Yep. But honestly, anywhere along there, any of those, they're all good food. Honestly.
All right.
But Smokin' Jake's, if you like good smoked food, they have really good spaghetti and rib plate. So you can get a smoked meat that goes in the spaghetti, and then you get fish that goes with it. It's really good. So you'll like it.
I like the way these guys think. Just carb up on the pasta, and then let's get a side of ribs on there.
Yep.
This is fat man talk to me. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and hit him at the right time. Happy hour. Drinks are $1.50 or $2 for a big tall glass, and
wow.
So, yep. Yeah, so it's a good deal. So
places like this still do exist, and I love. This is another reason I love the All-American is we go to these places where people like anglers. You know what I mean? They understand us, they get us, and they have, places out here for, that cater to, after you spend it a day, on the lake, man, you work up an appetite. You don't want a damn salad. Right. Not interested in kale.
Right. Oh, that's me too. I'm not interested in rabbit food.
Nope. This is the food I feed the prey of that what I'm eating.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so I want to tell you, so JigMup Guide Service of Okoboji, that's be the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay. And we can find you on Facebook. Just do that. And if you see on the screen here, see how I spelled it, JigMup.com. That's the website, JigMup Guide Service of Okoboji. You can find them there. Call Rod, send a text over there, whichever. to try to get some information. But that way we can, anybody that's watching this, like I said, this would, I'm looking forward to getting some good content, some good digital, content when we get there. We get a bunch of pictures of the local areas. We try to, touch base with as many people as we can when we come in, and we're going to just keep doing that as we get bigger and bigger with the All-American. We're just going to keep doing that more and more. So last year, this was a place that the guys just kept talking about and talking about and talking about after they went there. And I was looking at last year's results on this, and let me see, I can share this also.
So is it five biggest?
It is. It's the five largest each day.
Okay.
So we're a 2-day event. So 90 inches, 92.5 is what Jeremy put up for day one last year. And then he backed it up with another 90-inch day.
Dang.
I mean, these are stringers, man. I mean, this is, you're in the 20s hardcore, mid to top 20s when you're talking that kind of measurement, out of 5 fish.
Right.
Chad, like I said, he was right on the heels, man. He had a heck of a first day at 94. These are huge numbers. To give an idea, an event not too long after, I had 168 and some change, and I took third. And in this event last year, you had only been like 24th with what I took third with,
right.
on another deal. So, yeah. And if you look through the field, I mean, guys are putting up high 70s and 80s every day. Even some guys that maybe struggled on day one come back, and hit heavy on the next day as well. So, never out of it. And hopefully this thing is setting up to be just an awesome.
They're hitting 20-inch fish pretty regular.
And those are just, I mean, such a pile of fun to reel in. You start getting into 20s all day long, man. That is, I mean, you'll go through just about anything to keep doing that. That's awesome.
I know 2 Saturdays ago, we were out there and we probably caught, 75 bass, and we had in like 3 hours. And it was, I know we had one that was right at 6 pounds and one that was 5. So and a lot of 3-pounders. I mean, a ton of 3-pounders.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. I get on the road probably about 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'm about 11 hours from there. So I'll be getting in tomorrow right around dinner time. When everybody else is getting off work, I'll be getting in, and I'm actually staying in a little town further to the east. So I found just, I'm skimpy when it comes to how much I'll pay for a hotel. So if it's just me going, man, I find the cheap, clean hotel. That's all I'm looking for.
Are you staying in Esterville?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I mess up?
Nope.
Okay. Good.
Definitely here for sure.
Well, it's got great reviews. Everybody talks about how clean the place is. And Esterville, the thing I'm super excited, this is going to sound stupid, man, but now that I'm here in Colorado, I'm going to be just a few blocks when I'm there from a Hy-Vee. I freaking love Hy-Vee grocery stores, man. I'll tell you, you don't think much about them until you don't have them.
Right.
Hy-Vee is smart. I like the way they set their stuff up. Excuse me. And the Chinese food they sell is just phenomenal, man.
Yeah. We like Hy-Vee, General's chicken for sure.
Yes. General's chicken, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I told my wife, I was like, I'll be eating that at least one of those nights.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be set up there, and then a couple days of pre-fishing, and then we are go. It's a Friday, Saturday event, and then we'll be back on the road Sunday. So
yeah, so it sounds like the weather Thursday, it may not be the greatest. So.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. And it's even looking like one of those days, Friday or Saturday, it's going to be no rain, but man, the wind looks like it could be howling.
Yeah, and out of the north too, and I think they were talking, I don't know, only like 61 or 62 degrees at one of those days. I'm just not sure.
Well, thankfully, I have one of my long-time running sponsors is Blackfish Gear, so I have very good outdoor weather gear. So I'm not too worried about that. Safety, obviously, when you start in a kayak, 20-mile-an-hour winds is no joke. So for us, we'll be finding protective areas there. But it looks like the lake sets up in such a way that we'll be able to actually fish some really good water and find covered where we're not getting a full frontal blast from it. So
yeah, so if you want to fish, like the canal area, the good place to put in is Emerson Bay Boat Ramp. That's the best place to put in if you want to fish there.
Yep.
So, and then if you want to fish east and west, Okoboji, Triggs Boat Ramp or the Come and Go Boat Ramp's always good too. So
nice.
Yep.
Nice. Well, listen, brother, I can't thank you enough, man. And I'm going to reach out to you here after this week is done. Let me get all this craziness done. And then I'm going to reach out to you and let's start spiffballing and let's see if there's something the True Patriot Outfitters and JigMup Guide Service can do about us. If I could bring a couple guys, we get the donations in place to where we can hire you to take a couple guys out. And have us go out there and treat them to what Okoboji has to offer. Some guys from Colorado here would be beside themselves to get a chance to get on a natural lake with big green and big brown fish playing around in there. This could be just a ton of fun. And who knows, maybe, one day we have you take a guy out and then, I go in the kayak with him and then we reverse it around where we, put the other guy in the boat with you. And you see what I'm saying is that there's got to be something we can do here. And we'll see if we can set up and work with you on that. Cause that would be, I think, a ton of fun.
Yeah. Then, like I said, depending on when you guys come or if we get something like that figured out, we could always try and put them on a muskie too.
Oh my God. Yes, dude. You're going to have me wanting to get in the boat with you to go put me on a muskie. Cause I've hit lots of pike, but I've never intentionally gone looking for muskie. And it's a bucket list item. I want to do it.
Yeah. Big Spirit has a good number of fish in it.
Wow. Good stuff.
Yep.
All right, brother. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time with us here at the All American. We sincerely appreciate it. And folks, look him up. Rod's the man. If you're going into Okoboji area, you want to get up there. This is the service you need to contact. These are the guys to check out. If you can't find information, hit me up and I'll get you in touch with Rod 100% there, and we'll get it going. So, thanks again, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good luck, everybody. Hopefully the weather holds out and you guys catch some good bags of fish. So that'd be awesome.
Tight lines indeed. That's what we're aiming for.
Yep, tight lines.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right, folks. Well, you heard the man. This thing is setting up good. You can tell just by the look in his eyes as he's talking to you about this place that it's exciting. It's a good time. Pre-spawn can be a ton of fun. It's going to take a lot to dethrone that Iowa crew up there. I mean, this is their backyard, just like when we went to Truman, man, trying to take Moyak down. That's their backyard lakes. When you go into these places, they're no stranger to what's going on at these places. So that'll be the name of the game for us. But be honest with you, we're going to show there. We're going to try to learn as much as we can about the body of water. We've never been there. So go there, learn as much as we can, and just go out and go to work. And, it's us working with the fish, not against them, and just see if we can put together a big stringer, and we'll see when the dust falls. We'll see how it all plays out. But if you are on the fence, man, I'm telling you, this is one of the events you don't want to miss. I mean, I say that a lot just because I am biased for sure. But Okoboji, you heard from Rod himself what's going on. You saw the stuff we put up on the screen about what last year did, and that was May 14th when we were there last year, folks. Guys, it's the same thing. It's the same time of year. There's going to be, it's going to take 90 inches a day at least for you to have a shot to win this thing. And cashing checks, you're probably going to need 90 inches a day just to cash a check, to get the job done, just because there's so many fish caught and such good quality fish. This is the place you want to go. If you want to see what northern bass can look like and get in this area. This is a fishery that's taken care of. It's a great area, lots of resources for the anglers. And so, yeah, man, that's kind of what you still have time. So get a hold of Josh, get out to Tourney X, get signed up, and get on the roster here, man. Let's go get this done. And then of course, let's go over to Smokin' Jake's in Arnold's Park and get us some barbecue, man. The spaghetti barbecue rib thing on the side. Dude's got me all fired up for that stuff. So listen, folks, we appreciate all your support. Don't forget, please smash the subscribe button. It is a massive help for us. If you haven't subscribed to the True Patriot Outfitters, this is what we want to do. Obviously, we have our nonprofit work where we take vets and first responders out fishing here in Colorado. We work with the Romans Warrior Foundation to do that on a national level. And then any other aspect of the Romans Warrior Foundation, we try to, make sure that we're helping bring healing to different areas around the U.S. And we've teamed up with the All American Kayak Series on this just because there is such a close relationship in this. And a subscribe, man. That's a huge thing. Subscribe, follows, like, shares. Those are huge, huge deals. That helps us attract sponsors. That helps us attract donations for folks. So please, if you're looking for a way, if you got a few minutes or a few seconds, that is a massive way you can help us on the mission with that. And of course, the All American Kayak Series. You want to fish national trails and don't want to go to the same places over and over that all the other major boating trails go to. All American's where you need to be, man. You want to be with a group of people that think about anglers first. The All American is where you need to be. Yeah, these guys are wicked hooks. They're awesome anglers. They'll take your money, but at the same time, they share information left and right, and they're super friendly, and they give you the shirt off their back. So, I'm biased towards the whole organization itself, top to bottom. Folks, thank you so very much. We appreciate it. As always. Oh, hang on. We had a comment. Who's that Jeremy Brandis guy? Oh, it was Jeremy Brandis watching us that commented. Who's that Jeremy Brandis guy? Isn't he funny? Coming for your money, JB. Know it. Coming for your money. All right, folks. Appreciate it. Tight lines. Be safe.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.